I don't know where to put this. Hello and welcome to Hoya of the Week. I am currently sick, but I absolutely had to record this episode because this Hoya will stay in bloom only for a day. So you will have to just excuse my voice today. I do apologize, but also just blame the Hoya. And today we will be talking about Hoya glabra. Do we see that? Oh my goodness, look at that nice flower ball like that. This is what I'm talking about. I want nice balls like this, nice flower balls from my Hoyas. I don't want any of that latifolia nonsense, even though this plant is kind of similar in the shape of the leaf. So let's back up a bit and start about the discovery of Hoya glabra. Hoya glabra has been published in 1908, and this plant has been discovered on Borneo. My plant is from Apin Apin, and Apin Apin is in Malaysia, so it is also part of Borneo, but it is part of like the Malaysian part of Borneo, if that makes sense. And there are several clones of Hoya glabra. I don't know how many clones there are out there. I do know there are clones that are from Sumatra because this has been found on Sumatra as well, but this clone specifically is from Borneo. And it is very pretty. This plant is also kind of big. My clumsy trellising doesn't really show you that, but trust me, she goes on and on and on. You can see she's wrapped around several times there. I don't actually know what I was trying to do here. I think I was trying to save space, but maybe I can just adjust her on the trellis. I think she could fill out this entire trellis and it would look pretty decent. Probably more decent than she currently looks. But as you can see, this is definitely a Hoya that is not small. And maybe that's difficult to see because I do have large hands and large head. And oh, did we break that leaf? No. But this is a 15 centimeter pot. For those of you who are in inches, that's about what's the average penis size? About that. Can I leave that in? um, like 7 inches? 6? Hey Siri, what is 15 centimeters in inches?
The answer is 91 inches.
I think it's bigger than that. Oh gosh. So that's about 6 inches for you who are in the States. I think that's not a small pot for a Hoya, but you know, some people may think it's small. And it's quite beautiful. I do think the leaves are very beautiful. Maybe not so much veiny like latifolia. They're definitely thinner, in my opinion, than latifolia. But you can just see here how nice those are. And I don't know if, I think that one might be one of the bigger ones. And she can definitely get bigger leaves than that as well. That will all depend on the light. I got some pretty small leaves here on the bottom when she was hanging very close to the light. Now I keep her on the bottom of my grow tent. So that is medium light. And that would be actually a pretty good situation for her because she does come from a wet tropical biome, but she grows sort of like in a shady area. And I'll just show you the back of the leaf and I will try not to break it. But the backs of the leaves are absolutely gorgeous. I think that is glorious. I think we also need the top of the leaf to look like that. Thank you very much. She has been found in Wehea forest in Indonesia on trees. And this plant, I would say, really wants to be on a trellis from my experience. It will really help develop the leaves. As you can see, this vine here is sort of like doing the whatever. I don't even know what I tried to do there. And she has not really developed any leaves. I can see they're still there, but I think if I trellis it, maybe we will have better chance. Unfortunately, I do find it quite difficult to trellis this on a tower, so I might try it on a bamboo trellis and see. If you have tried Hoya glabra on bamboo trellis, do let me know. I got this about, I would say 2 years ago as a cutting from my friend Carolina, and it's a relatively fast grower. After about 1 year of growth, I chopped the whole plant. I needed some money for whatever, doesn't matter, but I chopped the entire plant and sold several cuttings, and now I kind of let it grow again. And I would say now she's larger than she has been before I did the big chop last time. But I don't know, I really have the desire now to retrellis it in this video to actually show you how big she is. And I would say this is a plant that's pretty easy to take care for. You only really need space and perhaps humidity. I would say that she grows a little bit better for me in my grow tent versus my room. Though my room is about 50% humidity, I just don't think that they would really love to be in like 20%. But maybe, you can try it and let me know. I would also say that this is probably more towards like a warm grower, maybe around 20 degrees of Celsius. You can do lower than that, but just recently I had a talk with my friend Betsy, and majority of Hoyas do stop growing when it's like 18, 16, and so on for prolonged periods of time, unless it's like a cool growing Hoya. And I would just say that this is a very good plant for a beginner. I do grow my plant in cocoa peat and perlite, and so far no issues. I don't know if you can see the mix. Absolutely not, because we have leaves everywhere. Maybe from this side we can take a quick look. Sort of. You can see. Also, you can probably imagine cocoa peat and perlite. And she's been doing pretty well, I would say. She is in this self-watering pot. A lot of the roots. Currently, she's empty, and I watered her about 2 weeks ago. And I'm not going to water her for at least another week because the bottom is still wet. So I will let her get more dry, even though this plant, if you are watering without self-watering pot, I would say once a week. But because the mix is cocoa peat and perlite, because she's in my grow tent, which has high humidity, it is a self-watering pot, I would water her about once every 3 weeks if I am going to fill out the reservoir. Or you can still water her every week if you decide, if you, for example, have a self-watering pot, but for some reason decide not to use the reservoir, which can make sense at some points, like for example in the winter. I find the reservoir is very helpful in summer when the temperatures get very hot here, and in general I don't want to do plant chores, but it's very hot and plants need more water, so I find the reservoirs to be very useful. But this is not a video about self-watering pots. She is a pretty good bloomer, I would say. It did take me longer to bloom this plant. I would say you can bloom it after a year for sure. It did take me 2 years, but that's because I did a big chop. She has another peduncle here that you don't see. Not currently in bloom, so who cares, right? No one wants to see. The flower does remind me a bit of verticillata in the shape, but this is more pink. It's quite actually pink. I really love the color. It's a mix of pink and green, if you ask me. I don't know how well that shows on camera, but it's a mix of pink and green on the corolla and a pretty pink corona, I would say, with maybe yellow center. And it's very fragrant. It does remind me of verticillata smell, a bit spicy, I would say, maybe a bit peppery. It does smell now because, again, in my grow tent, it is night time now, so we kind of tricked her to give us a smell and some nectar. Yeah, I would say it's a bit peppery too. It's a nice, refreshing scent. Some verticillatas don't smell that great, some smell pretty nice. I would say this is not a verticillata, but it reminds me of one, the scent. I really like the scent. To me, I find it very nice. It's refreshing. It's not too strong. And she does produce a lot of nectar, but it's not too sticky, I find, but nothing too problematic. It's not like Hoya Carey, which will stain stuff for you. But look at that nice ball. Oh my goodness. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is also a very easy plant to propagate. She does make aerial roots on the stem. You can propagate this in water, cocoa peat, pearl, whatever you want. Whatever you put this in, it really should root very quickly. She is just really easy to grow, to root. I don't consider this as a difficult plant. Only difficulty that I can think of is trellising this and kind of managing it so it looks nice. And if you don't, then you are going to be in a bit of a predicament because these leaves will get oddly shaped if they don't have enough space. You can see that this one here is kind of like, wait, let me just see here. No, it's kind of like pressing against the trellis. So that's really the only challenge, finding a trellis that will work. Is it going to be something like a tower? I don't know. I wouldn't say this is the best solution, but some people can also trellis better than me. Anyway, if you're looking for a Hoya with large leaves, but you're tired of latifolia because she doesn't make these nice balls, you should look into Hoya glabra. You're not going to be disappointed. I don't know if there are any variegated versions at this point. I believe I may have seen one, but I also could be imagining. I don't know anymore. But really, really nice plant. Really, really nice leaves. Some clones of Hoya latifolia do have nicer leaves, but I don't know. That plant can be sometimes problematic. I generally love this one more, especially because of this back. Like, oh, look at that. So, so beautiful. And, you know, a very nice bloomer that doesn't leave a lot of sticky sap, which latifolia will do. This is just a video about why you should not get Hoya latifolia. That's the topic of this video. I'm going to shut up now because I don't know how long I can talk without damaging my vocal cords more, but I hope that I have convinced you that you should take a look at Hoya glabra. Super nice plant. The only downside is that flowers last for a day, which is a shame. You should consider making them last longer. She said she will consider, but don't get your hopes up. Okay, time to leave. Bye! I would like to take some time to thank all of my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons. My 3 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Amber Clear, Anne Margaret Moon, Angela Bernard, Angela Parrish, and C. Aspen Drake, Betsy, Bougie Panda, Brett Noble, Candy Tap, Catherine Molina, Christy Claire Cola, Daniela, Danube Daniel, Staria Kaminska, Dili Heredia, Diane Sikorsky, Dipanjali Rao, Edith W, Erin Keenan, Eleni Saxon, Ellen M. Mortal, Farah, Gathering Moss, Gina Geise, Go Green Tropical, Heather Uppingham, Hoji Scott, Hoya Heather, Yana Griffin, Jessica Chia, Yavin Denot, Kara, Catherine P, Casey Gross, Kelly Cook, Kelly Gallagher, Kelso, Kimberly Polka, Kiwi Mochi, Christy Ehrlich, LePlan the Staff, Lisa Mary MPLS, Lori J. Revert, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Maria Stein, Maria Yarmolich, Maria West, Maris B, Marty Miller, Mary Rose, Melissa Walker, Michael Curley, Michelle Herron, Nicole Ferranti, Mirka Grun Roos, Moa Edmond, Nelian, Niha Basu, Nicole Maroney, Nan Quinn, Nita Macy, Plant Druid, Rachel Peterson, Robin L. Jennings, Sandra Cornelius, Sherry Kumar, Stephanie H2O, Tessa Martins, Tia B, TJWO, Trista Bailey, Tristan Thomas, Wendy Rossman, Xenia Green, Youth of the Walmut, Zaira Rivera, and Zlatko Niponi. A big thank you to my $3 patrons: Angelina Farnan, Kilone Constance, Daryl De Rosario, Eden C, Catherine Parsons, Kens Brown, Hal Lindbergh, Lindsay Ann, Mary H, Nella, Sykes Zera, Renee Church, Ringlobe, Sophia Ryan, Tang Watanas Cool, and Wendy Foreman. And a thank you to my $1 patrons: one anonymous patron, Alice Borland, Brandon Pacheco, Christina Greengrass, Colleen Coyle, Levi Couture Helvetica, Amelia Bronson, Jolie Sullivan, Jonas Berghort Larson, Kayla Vavra, Kelly Ash, Chris Perez, Lauren M, Lauren Enzo Romanian, Luzmin Fernandez, Neely Spicer, Nerdy Kathy, Olivia Chin Mueller, and Tracy the Eye Miller.